Hey everyone, good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mackenzie Rasmus, and today we are going over the pros and cons of living in Minnesota. And I'm first coming to you from the shores of Lake Minnetonka, which is pro number one of living in Minnesota. All of our incredible lakes. See, we're known as the land of 10,000 lakes, but we're actually humble about it. See, we have 11,842 lakes in Minnesota, and we take advantage of it during our precious summer months that we have here. We'll go boating, we'll go jet skiing, we'll go skiing behind the boats, we'll go wakeboarding, we'll do whatever we can to get on all of this awesome lake. Lake Minnetonka is one of our more popular lakes that we have here in the Twin Cities because of its relative size and proximity to the Twin Cities. And what's also interesting about Lake Minnetonka is that we've got a diverse clientele that uses this lake. So you're gonna see your basic fisher boats as well as your huge yachts. And then also going house hunting along the shores of Lake Minnetonka is something to behold. Fun fact about Lake Minnetonka real estate, you've got Minnesota's most expensive listing to date. Over $10 million is on the shores of Lake Minnetonka, and it's right over here actually, and just recently became listed for sale. So if you ever want to take a look, let me know. And I'm actually walking along one of Lake Minnetonka's newest additions, which is the boardwalk along downtown Wayzata. Here you actually get to be on the shores of Lake Minnetonka and walking over the lake. And you've got shops, restaurants. They've really done up this area of Wayzata, which is super great. So there's a lot of things to do, a lot of places to shop, and pretty much you can find whatever you would want to be able to do in downtown Wayzata. Whew. Okay, we are back inside to talk about our first con, which, as many of you are expecting this, we know it to be true, and it's the elephant in the room, the winter. Yes, winters are long. Yes, winters are cold. They can run anywhere from as early as October all the way to March, April, and sometimes even May and June, but let's not get into it. We are talking sub-zero temperatures, icy roads, and snow that does stick around for months. That being said, as long as you have good boots, a good coat, and a remote start on your car, you're gonna be fine. Plus, our cities are acclimated in terms of the resources that they have at the ready for the residents that live here. Snows an inch? No problem. Snows 2 feet? Not an issue. In fact, we're seeing a decline year over year in what are considered snow days here in Minnesota. Plus, you do get used to the weather relatively quickly. Pro number 2 is the quality of life. Minnesota consistently ranks high on the list in terms of quality of life, healthcare, education, and job opportunities. We have top-tier hospitals like the Mayo Clinic. We have plenty of job opportunities with all of the Fortune 500 companies that are here in town. We've got a really diverse economy with tech, healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. It's not just all about Target and 3M, although those are a couple of the big players in town. Con number 2 is high taxes. So now on the flip side of that quality of life, somebody's gotta pay for it. And so yes, our taxes are on the steeper side. Minnesota does have one of the highest state income taxes in the country. That means that your paycheck will take more of a hit than, say, if you live in Florida. But for many folks, they say the trade-off is worth it for everything that we get in return, like our public schools, like our public services, and our public infrastructure. That all works integral as part of the amazing quality of life that we have here in the Twin Cities. Pro number 3 is a strong sense of community. This is one of the things that I love most that not a lot of people talk about. People really care here. Whether you're in a small town or a Minneapolis suburb or in one of the main Twin Cities, there is a culture of helping your neighbors, showing up for local events, and putting down roots. There is kind of a saying that if you are from Minnesota, you do eventually come back. And it's because the quality of life is so good. People have a strong sense of purpose here. Whether it's that Scandinavian happiness perspective or a strong sense of community, family, empathy, there is always something that brings people back to the great North Star State. And Minnesotans have this thing called Minnesota nice, which basically means that we are polite, helpful, and usually will let you merge in front of us in traffic. That said, Minnesota nice can sometimes come with a back end side of that, like Minnesota ice, which brings us to our con number 3, in that it can feel a little insular. It can sometimes be hard to break into social circles here, especially if you're new or from a different city. People are friendly on the surface, but forming those deeper connections will take some time. It will definitely take you a hot dish or two to get Minnesotans to warm up to you. Pro number 4 is our culture and our art. So we punch way above our weight when it comes to this. Live music, theater, museums, museum of visual art. Prince was from here. Gosh, Bob Dylan was even from here. The Minneapolis music scene is incredibly strong. Plus, we have the most theater seats per capita outside of New York. Con number 4 is limited diversity in some areas. Now, the Twin Cities are growing and becoming more and more diverse every year. That being said, there are parts of the state, especially rural areas, that diversity is still pretty limited. And that can impact everything from cultural representation to diverse cuisine or religious institutions. It is changing, for sure, but it's a reality in some areas. Pro number 5 is our real estate values. Let's talk about homes because that is my specialty. Compared to places like California and New York, your dollar does stretch further here than it would in those places. And whether you're looking for a lakefront property or a downtown condo or a suburban single family, there is something for everyone, and you will find that you get more bang for your buck here in terms of the value of real estate. So that is the sales pitch. If you're thinking of buying or selling, you know a guy now. Con number 5 are the shorter summers. And it is such a heartbreaker because our summers are so beautiful here in Minnesota, as evidenced by the first part of this video. Our summers are amazing, but short. People here live for the summer. You'll see everyone outside, from hitting the patios to biking the trails to heading to the lake. But blink and it's already gone in a heartbeat. Because we spend so much of our time cooped up indoors, we live for the moments that we can get outside. And even when we do get outside, we then often go through a season of rainy thunderstorms or Canadian smoke, thanks Canada, or just days where it is just too dang hot and humid to do anything. But when we get those days of high 70s, low 80s, low humidity, and you're on the lake, chef's kiss, nothing better. So there you have it. There are 5 pros and cons of living in Minnesota, which, as you can see, at the end of the day, no place is perfect, but Minnesota is pretty darn close. If you're thinking about moving here or just want to have a chat about real estate, I would love to help you out. Be sure to like and subscribe and drop any questions in the comments below. Bye guys, have a good day.